Welcome back. This is Kilimo Diaries here on TV 47, and on this episode we are focusing on bee colony management, and with me is Delvis of Beecare Apiaries. Just before the break we were talking about the queen bee. Now you mentioned that sometimes when the worker bees see that the queen bee is not really performing, they might sort of push them away of the hive. But then as a farmer, can you yourself probably go get another queen bee and come and replace in the hive?
Currently, there are studies that are going on about queen rearing by some universities, but mostly it's the bees who create their own queen. Because you see how a queen is made, we have first the queen cell. So the queen cell is bigger inside as compared to the other cells for the other bees. From there, the bee that comes from the queen cell is a bit bigger, but she's not a queen yet because she's not yet mated by the drone.
Yes.
So she becomes only a queen once she's mated. She's mated once in a lifetime by the drones. And now she's not yet a queen, but after mating now she becomes a queen. So mostly it's the bees. So sometimes they usually, just as they have the queen inside the beehive, you'll see other queen cells that they just build as a precaution against the queen maybe dying. So once they see they're underperforming, now they bring up the other queen now.
The queen. All right. And how then does a strong queen bee affect honey production?
So a strong queen bee affects the honey production positively, because with a strong queen bee means she lays a lot of eggs. Meaning the eggs that the adult bees that mature are many. So the colony now grows bigger and bigger quickly. So when the colony is big, you have a high number of bees, and even the worker bees. So once they go and get the nectar and all that, they are huge in number as compared to a colony that has a weak queen bee. So once they go to get the nectar and all that, they bring in a lot as compared to the other ones which are weaker, meaning they fill up the hive quicker.
Okay. And in terms of like the average lifespan of a queen bee, do you know that?
Yes.
What is
a queen bee can stay around 5 to 6 years.
5 to 6
Which
years.
is a big comparison against the worker bee who stays only for months.
Oh, months.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. An interesting one there. So I know we had mentioned about hive inspection, and you mentioned that it needs to be done regularly. Perhaps for a farmer who's doing this, how regular is that? Is it every month, every 3 months, every 6 months? And why should they do it regularly?
You should do it once a month. So, and the importance of this is just to see the progress of your bees and to see their bee health, to see their health, and to see whether there is anything that is obstructing them from continuing with their work.
Yes.
So by doing inspections, you're also able to time yourself on when to harvest and even mitigate against anything that is affecting your hive early enough. So that's why monthly inspections are important.
And what then are the warning signs that my bee colony is not really doing well?
So the warning signs you see your bees are not doing really well is first by you'll come and open the beehive. So for example, you come, let me just show you. So you come and open. So for example, you harvested like a month back, and you see only harvesting on the super chamber,
yes,
on the harvesting chamber. So and then you come in a month and you see you haven't harvested even the brooding chamber, because you see the honey that is there, you leave them for their own consumption. And you come and notice even after a month, they haven't started building new combs. So through that, you're able to know there is a problem, because it's been a whole month and they have not even come to the super chamber. So through that, you are able to now do thorough investigations and more investigation to understand why they are not coming up in the super chamber.
So basically, it's always just if they're not coming up to the super chamber, that's it.
No, it's not basic. It's because you see, it's mostly in terms of performance. So you come and see whether are they continuing to build new combs as compared to how you left them last time. So yes.
Once you have harvested, how long does it take for bees to build new combs up a super chamber?
On the super chamber, it should take around 4 months. It should harvest after every 4 months. But the first harvest, you see, once your beehive has gotten a colony, the first harvest will be around after 6 to 7 months. Because you have to have a build-up period. They come and build the combs here in the brooding chamber before they come up in the super chamber. So it takes around 7 months.
You mentioned that if they are not really performing well here at the super chamber, then it means that there must be a problem. Then for me as a farmer, would I have to clean out even the bees that are at the brooding chamber?
No, it's not. You do not remove them. You do not chase them away.
No?
What you do is just to come and investigate. You may find maybe they have sealed the queen excluder with propolis,
propolis.
maybe now preventing them from coming to the other harvesting chamber. So you just analyze and mitigate, or maybe there's started an infestation of things like wax moth that is affecting their performance and things like that.
When we were going round, there was one hive that they had sealed with propolis. Where was because we were inspecting them, what was wrong with that hive?
So what was wrong with that specific hive, as you'll see, they had sealed with propolis on top of the queen excluder. So what could have been wrong is maybe they saw it as an opening that's maybe going to it's not supposed to. The other part is not supposed to be part of where they do their activities.
So what happens during a low nectar season?
First of all, you can supplement them by just getting where you can get honey around and just putting them eating the beehive through the bee feeders. So you just put them inside the beehive. You usually feed them inside, not outside, because you see when you feed them outside a beehive, and let's say you have 10 beehives, you see they'll all come to fight there. So you're supposed to feed them each and every hive on its own inside the beehive to prevent the congestions of feeding them from outside. Because you see, once you feed them from outside, you'll have bees from other beehives all coming to the.
So you just give them their honey back?
Yes, it's usually, but also there are other things. You can give them like sugar syrups, which can also supplement. But for me, just give them what they take, which is honey.
Honey.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. And in terms of now, what happens if a farmer does not feed them during, say, that drought season? What are the losses that they're looking at?
So if you do not feed your beehives during the drought season, first of all, because even as humans, once you stay in a place where there's nothing you can feed on, you move to a different place. So what they'll do, they'll move to a different place to look for places with nectar and water. Okay.
And does feeding affect now the quality of the honey that is got at the end of the season?
No, it does not, because you see, you only feed them during the drought season. So what you feed them, they do not use it to make honey. What you feed them, you give them for their own consumption. So it's just to sustain them. Yes.
So for honey itself, what affects the quality of honey? Why does it look like some honeys are thicker than the others? What's
the difference in color?
Yes, yes.
So there are several things. What causes that is mostly because of the plant that they visit. So you may find in places, for example, in places where they're doing coffee farming, you find their honey is maybe darker as compared to honey from places where they have acacia like Baringo, because of the flowers. You see the honey from the acacia, the nectar from the acacia flower, and the honey produced in those areas is lighter because the acacia flower produces around somehow not really whitish, but whitish flowers. But in places where they're doing things like coffee farming and other, you may find their honey is a bit darker, but it's just because of where the bees forage. So we actually have around 8 colors of honey. But it's purely dependent on where the bees forage. But that does not determine that to say that this honey is not good, this one is good. They're all good honeys, just dependent on where they forage. Even if you're feeding them with the good things like honey, if some people feed them from outside, once you feed them from outside, they start fighting against each other because they're all fighting for the same food, for each one of them to take them back to their beehives. So it's good you feed them inside the beehive.
Inside the beehive. Okay.
And if you're using citrus fruits to feed them, keep on replace it. Don't let like a fruit stay there for like more than even like 3 days. Just after like 2 days, you remove it before it starts rotting.
Now, I know many aspiring farmers are watching you, and perhaps they're wondering, what is that one habit that maybe here at Beecare Apiaries that you do on a daily to ensure that our bee colonies are strong and they're good?
The key thing is inspection. We usually ensure in all our apiaries, we do inspection of our beehives to ensure that their health and their performance is always good. We also supplement them with things like sunflower. We plant sunflower around, we plant bottle brush around. And also because we're also manufacturing beehives that we sell to customers, for each beehive we sell, we give 2 trees for planting, trees which supplement on nectar. So we ensure each farmer that buys a beehive from us gets also 2 trees to go and plant for also production of nectar. And through that, they're also motivated to get more plants to just supplement the nectar of your bees, of their bees.
Okay. Yeah. And for that farmer who also now wants to get into this honey business,
yes,
what is your advice to them?
For me, honey business is really the best business. With bees, you get high returns from them, which is not as stressful as compared to not stressful, but which does not consume a lot of your time as compared to other activities.
But I would say they're dangerous, but their value, the value at the end of the day is good.
Yeah, they're dangerous, but at least none of us has been stung. So with the right PPE, once you source the right PPE, you just doing your harvesting, doing your inspections will be very easy. So the key thing also, you should find reliable suppliers who will make sure you have the right PPE, which will make even your beekeeping journey the best. So that's why you advocate, if you want to start your beekeeping journey, start it with Beecare.
Yes, and now you have been involved with Beecare for some time now. What would you say is the biggest success so far?
So first of all, is through the number of farmers that we have trained. That's actually our biggest success. So just through having those farmers trained, and also helping other people to create a livelihood. Because when you train the farmers, they increase their bee health and they also create a livelihood for themselves, which is for us is like our motivating factor.
And for someone who's starting, why is it important to get knowledge from like the experts instead of just going in blind?
First of all, they have the experience on the do's and don'ts, on how to make it work, on how to ensure that there is honey production. Instead of just going and beginning blindly, you just go and maybe even just buy a beehive and keep it, and maybe even don't know the procedure of even proper harvesting, proper handling, proper sighting, proper equipment. Yes. So yes, things like that.
All right. So asante sana for taking us through bee colony management. It has been an enlightening moment, and we have learned so much, and we would say asante sana to you. And of course, asante sana to the crew that have been with me, and of course to you who has been watching, and our partner, the Kenya National Farmers Federation. Of course, we do this every other Sunday at 7:30 p.m. My name is Sheila Chelangat, and this is Kilimo Diaries, a show for the farmer, by the farmer, with the farmers.